Picture this, a bustling city suddenly split by a wall. Not just any wall, but the Berlin Wall, a symbol of the Cold War. It stood for nearly 3 decades, a stark reminder of political division. November 9, 1989, was the climax. A bungled press conference led to the wall becoming an open house. People swarmed, climbed, and chipped away at it. The world watched as the wall, a symbol of a divided planet, fell. It was the Iron Curtain made tangible, a daily reminder of ideological chasms. The fall of the wall symbolized the collapse of an ideology and the reunification of a people. After World War II, Berlin was divided by the victorious Allied powers. The city, once a symbol of unity and culture, was now a pawn in the geopolitical chess game of the Cold War. The Soviets took East Germany, and the others took the West. This division was not just physical but ideological, with communism on one side and capitalism on the other. Berlin, deep inside Soviet-controlled East Germany, became an island of capitalism. It was a unique situation, a capitalist enclave surrounded by a sea of communism. East Germans started leaving for West Berlin, causing a brain drain. Skilled workers, intellectuals, and professionals were fleeing, seeking freedom and better opportunities in the West. On August 13, 1961, East German authorities began erecting barriers. What started as barbed wire fences quickly escalated into something much more formidable. The initial barrier evolved into a formidable concrete structure. It was not just a wall but a complex system of fortifications designed to prevent any escape. It stretched for about 96 miles, cutting off West Berlin. This massive structure effectively isolated the western part of the city from the surrounding East Germany. The wall was a high-security obstacle course designed to keep people in. Guard towers, barbed wire, and armed patrols made it nearly impossible to cross. Families were split, and streets were bricked up overnight. The wall tore apart communities and severed the social fabric of the city. The wall became a brutal symbol of oppression. It was covered in graffiti and slogans, a canvas for the frustrations and hopes of those trapped behind it. It was a clear message: your government trusts you so little, it's willing to build a fortress to keep you in. The propaganda tried to justify it, but the reality was stark and oppressive. Effective maybe, but not a great way to build a happy, free society. The wall stood as a testament to the lengths a regime would go to maintain control, sacrificing freedom for the illusion of security. Life in East Berlin was under Soviet-style communism. The city was a stark contrast to its Western counterpart, with its gray buildings and omnipresent symbols of Soviet power. Propaganda posters adorned the streets, reminding citizens of the state's ideology and control. Democracy and civil liberties were heavily restricted. The government kept a tight grip on the populace with surveillance cameras and informants everywhere. Protests were rare and quickly suppressed, leaving little room for dissent. The economy was state-owned and centrally planned. Factories churned out goods according to government quotas, and stores were run by the state. There was little room for private enterprise or innovation. Shortages of everything from bananas to decent cars were common. People often had to wait in long lines for basic necessities, and the quality of goods was generally poor. The lack of consumer choice was a constant frustration. The Stasi, East Germany's secret police, had a massive network of informants. They infiltrated every aspect of life, from workplaces to social circles, creating an atmosphere of suspicion and fear. People were afraid to speak their minds, knowing that a neighbor or even a family member could be an informant. Trust was a rare commodity. Despite the risks, the desire for freedom was powerful. Many East Berliners secretly listened to Western radio stations, yearning for the freedoms enjoyed just a few miles away. Youths would gather in secret to discuss their dreams of a better life. Many East Germans dreamed of life beyond the wall. The wall was a constant reminder of the divide, and for many it represented a barrier to a world of opportunities and freedoms. Some tried to escape using tunnels, hot air balloons, or by swimming canals. These daring attempts were fraught with danger, but the hope of a better life drove many to take the risk. Over 100 people lost their lives trying to cross. These tragic losses were a stark reminder of the wall's deadly consequences, and memorials stood as somber testaments to their bravery. The wall was a daily reminder of a different world, tantalizingly close yet dangerously far. On one side, vibrant graffiti symbolized freedom. On the other, the gray concrete stood as a barrier to dreams. It defined life in East Berlin for a generation. Children grew up in its shadow, and families lived their lives under its oppressive presence, always aware of the divide it represented. The human spirit's refusal to be walled in was a constant theme. Despite the risks, people continued to protest and plot their escapes, driven by an unyielding desire for freedom. The wall dictated lives, separated families, and symbolized oppression. It was a physical and emotional barrier that tore apart loved ones and stood as a symbol of the regime's control. It was a place of daring escapes and heartbreaking failures. Each attempt to cross was a testament to the human spirit's resilience, but not all were successful, leading to stories of both triumph and tragedy. Erupted in East Germany, demanding freedom and reforms. The hardline communist leader Erich Honecker was forced out of office. The desire for change was overwhelming. November 9, 1989, was the night the wall opened. Günter Schabowski, an East German official, announced new travel regulations. He mistakenly said they took effect immediately. Hearing this, tens of thousands of East Berliners headed to the wall. The border guards were caught off guard and had no clear orders. At Bornholmerstrasse, the overwhelmed guards opened the barriers. People surged through, cheering, crying, and hugging strangers. West Berliners rushed to greet them. The wall became the world's biggest, most spontaneous street party. People climbed onto the wall, danced, and started chipping away at it. It was a night of pure, unadulterated joy. The symbol of division became a symbol of unity. It was a truly unbelievable moment when history took a joyous turn. After the wall fell, Germany faced the monumental task of reunification. East Germany held its first free elections in March 1990. The parties advocating for swift reunification won decisively. Talks began between East and West Germany and the four Allied powers. The 2+4 treaty was a crucial international agreement. Economically, merging the two countries was a Herculean effort. The West German Deutsche Mark became the currency for all of Germany. Many East German industries collapsed and unemployment soared. On October 3, 1990, Germany was officially reunified. It was a moment of immense national pride and joyous celebration. The fall of the Berlin Wall sent shockwaves around the globe. It was a moment that many thought they would never see in their lifetimes. The wall, which had stood as a stark symbol of division for nearly 3 decades, crumbled under the weight of history and the will of the people. It marked the symbolic end of the Cold War, a period of intense geopolitical tension between the Soviet Union and the United States, along with their respective allies. In December 1989, Gorbachev and U.S. President George H.W. Bush declared the Cold War over. This declaration was a significant milestone, signaling a new era of cooperation and the potential for a more peaceful world. The collapse of the wall triggered a domino effect across Eastern Europe. Countries that had been under the grip of communist regimes began to see a wave of protests and demands for change. Communist regimes began to fall, and the Warsaw Pact dissolved. This was a clear indication that the old order was giving way to new political realities. The Soviet Union itself disintegrated in December 1991. This monumental event marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter in world history. The transition to market economies and democracy was often bumpy. Many countries faced significant challenges as they navigated this new landscape. New freedoms came with economic hardship and growing inequality. The promise of a better future was tempered by the realities of economic transition. Even today, the legacy of the Berlin Wall shapes our world. It serves as a reminder of the past and a symbol of the enduring struggle for freedom and unity. It's a powerful symbol of monumental change. The art and graffiti that now adorn the remnants of the wall speak to the resilience and creativity of the human spirit. The fall of the wall closed one chapter, but history never stops writing new ones. Each fragment of the wall that remains is a piece of a larger story that continues to unfold. The world continues to evolve, shaped by the echoes of the past. As we move forward, we carry with us the lessons and legacies of those pivotal moments in history.